What's up, Face-Off fanatics? Welcome back to the Movie Trivia Face-Off. You are here with the most exciting man in movie trivia here on the internet, Andrew the Elk Kelk, and we've got another fantastic GEEKTACULAR match coming your way with two amazing competitors. And as always, I'm in good spirits. I'm feeling on top of the world as I get to introduce to you today my co-host. Who'd they give me this week? It's... Please welcome David the Spaniard Garcia.
Hey everyone, so I am back in the desk, and Elk, I think you were trying to say flirken, right?
Yes, that is 100% the word I was going to use there, not any other word. Kids, listen to your parents. All right, folks, we are here. As mentioned, it's a GEEKTACULAR spectacular. We've got two great competitors, two very strong competitors competing today. We've got Ruben, the Kingslayer Cologne, coming in against Mike, the Hypeman Shea. And hype there is in this match. I know. I've watched these guys compete already, both putting up some impressive points, answering some big, big questions. And I think today is going to be a heck of a match. What do you think, David?
So yeah, I agree. These two are titans of the GEEKTACULAR. They are ranked 3 and 4, and for a reason. These two, their matches have been incredible. Even if Ruben lost one of them, but he lost to the second-ranked competitor in Thomas. So I think we are going to see a lot of points scored today, a lot of correctly answered questions, and the wheel is going to be the deciding factor. The wheel, as we saw in my last match, can make a relatively well-rounded competitor if they get a category they don't like, or if it's the hardest category on the wheel and the questions don't land. That second round is where this match is going to be decided. I'm sure of it. Also, there is a lot of beef between these two. They have been going at each other on social media for a while.
Well, we love to see a matchup where there's a little bit of back and forth, some heat building up between the competitors, and that is definitely happening with these two guys here today. Let's find out a little bit more about that as we take you to our interviews with our competitors.
Hello there. Yes, hello. Mike Shea, the Hypeman, here. This is you might notice that I don't sound like I normally do. This is more of my usual, everyday state of being, when I'm not competing, that is. But today, I'm here to speak about my upcoming match against a man by the name of Ruben Colon, also known as the Kingslayer, as it were. Yes, Ruben Colon, a name derived from the Latin Rubinius Colonius, which roughly translated back into English means, I believe, sandwich, which speaks a lot to this man's character. Yes, the Kingslayer, yet I see no kings have been slain, sir. No kings, merely want to be trivia competitors. So calling yourself the so-called Kingslayer does seem a bit premature, but I feel as though premature is something you know quite a bit about in your day-to-day life. So I believe it goes without saying that in this upcoming match, I'm going to trounce you and make an absolute mockery of everything that you hold dear. That being said, I am looking forward greatly to showing once again that when it comes to the movie Trivia Face-Off GEEKTACULAR division, the hype is indeed real. And I look forward to our match where you will be left face down on the pavement whilst I stand above you with my foot placed firmly upon your rather, shall we say, weak buttocks. Yes, with that being said, I'm going to take a sip of my, which I hope is tea, but is honestly probably just more booze because I have a problem.
Here it is. The Kingslayer's back. I know you guys have missed me, and I'm here to dominate the GEEKTACULAR League. As always, today I'm going up against an overactive wannabe king. He sits on a throne with his undefeated record right now, and I'm here to put an end to that. I've done it before. I took out the last person that was undefeated, and now I'm going to take out this person that's undefeated. We're going to go toe-to-toe. It might be a great match, but I am telling you right now that whenever all is said and done, the Kingslayer have another trophy on his in his little collection. So be prepared, and I want everyone to be on watch because David, specifically, this goes out to you. I'm going to show you what a true number one contender does. He challenges the best of the best. He goes for the top 5 players and makes sure he makes all of them lose to him to prove that he is the best. So David, take a lesson from the Kingslayer. Watch this match closely and pay very close attention because this is what a true champion does. And I want you to learn from me. Good luck, guys. And Kingslayer, out.
All right, Face Off Fanatics, we're back, and what a couple of interviews we had there. Lots of words thrown back and forth. Clearly, these are two competitors who are not just here today to do well, to put up a couple points, to maybe walk out with the victory. These are two hungry competitors, two guys who want it, and I feel like it's going to be a knockdown, drag out. And somebody else's name getting thrown out there. Looks like you've got a little bit of popularity going on there, David. Your dance card is filling up real quick, and yet I still haven't heard back from you about when you're going to face off against me.
Well, the ball is on your roof, as they say. But anyways, yeah, you're right. I have a lot of admirers these past days. In fact, Ruben has seemed to, like, I don't know, obsessed with mentioning me when he should be focusing on his current opponent. But I have a theory. I think with Valentine's Day being like 2 days ago at the time of recording, I think all those hints he gave me was because he wanted me to be his Valentine. But I'm sorry, Ruben, you are cute, but you're not my type. So let's just play the match and go with it.
All right, I guess that's what happens when you are, in fact, the number one ranked contender. I do have to give you that one, David. Speaking of rankings, let's talk about our competitors here in this matchup. We've got Mike, the Hypeman Shea, at number 5, and Ruben, Kingslayer Cologne, at number 4. Both very well situated in the GEEKTACULAR League. David, let's hear the tale of the tape.
All right, so Mike, it's 2-0 with 1 KO, and Ruben is 2-1 with 1 KO. His only loss being to Thomas Scally, the number 2 ranked. But why he is ranked higher? Because his accuracy is, as you can see, monstrous. Like 93% in round 1, 94% in round 2, 100% still accuracy. It's round 3 where he kind of falls a little behind, 2 for 2 in 2-pointers, but he had to answer around 3-pointer and 5-pointer and missed both of them. So Ruben is coming out of a perfect game, if I am not mistaken. So if he can go on that momentum and not choke on round 3, because I think Mike is going to is going to make him go to round 3. He can easily take the win, but Mike's numbers are not to sleep on. 90% in round 1, 75% in round 2. But having seen his matches, I think if today he thinks a little slower before every single answer, because in his match against Diaz, he missed 2 questions because he just jumped on the trigger too fast. And that's something he has to correct in this match. Also, perfect in round 3, so this match is going to be a good one. I cannot decide from where it's going to go.
Well, I think you're right about that. You remove those records and that accuracy numbers, those round 1, round 2, round 3 figures for Ruben looking absolutely terrifying. That's not the kind of competitor you can afford to sit back against. But Mike, the hype man, Shea, doing very well in those early rounds, putting up some points, and coming in here, he's got an undefeated record as well, 2-0 with a KO to his name, so nothing at all to sneeze at. I've already said it. I think these are 2 of the best guys we've got in the league. As we're battling in these high rankings, these number 1s through number 6s, number 7s, with maybe one exception, I think all these competitors are always going to bring the excitement to you. And I just think today is going to be a great match, David. Are you ready to get him in here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, it is time to face off, and fans, introducing first, with a record of 2-0 and 1 KO, he is Mike, the Hype Man, Shea.
What's going on, Movie Trivia Face-Off fans? Is everybody ready to have a good time today? Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Huh.
All right, Mike Shea.
Why can't every single competitor come in like this? Now I feel better.
Because there's only one hype man, David. There's only one like me in this league.
Fair enough.
Not every competitor moonlights as half of Beanie and the Spud during drive time hours, so we are stuck with what we got.
I didn't understand that reference.
And we're going to introduce his opponent with a record of 2-1 and 1 KO, the 4th-ranked contender in the Geektacular division. He is Ruben, the Kingslayer Cologne.
You're muted, buddy.
What's up, Mike? Hope you're ready for a beatdown in your life. Let's get this started.
Oh, so you can work a microphone now. Cool. Okay. Cool. Awesome.
All right, that is Ruben having a little trouble with Mike. Let's hope that's not a portent of things to come for him. All right, and with that, gentlemen, we are going to get ready to take you into this Geektacular match. If you are both ready, Ruben, are you ready?
Do this, always.
Mike, are you ready?
Oh, bring it on.
Then let's kick it off with round number 1. Gentlemen, here are your rules for the first round. Each competitor will receive 10 questions from various Geektacular categories. Each of these questions will be worth 1 point. When asked the question, you will write the answer down on your whiteboard, and you will be given approximately 15 seconds to answer the question. Once the time is up, we will ask you by name to show your answer. At that point, please show your board and verbalize your answer. We've got hands on screen at all times, please, gentlemen. And you have, during the course of this round, no steals, but you do have your challenge at any time during the match. If you feel a question was asked incorrectly or the answer given was incorrect in some way, you may challenge the question. If your challenge is upheld, the question will be thrown out or the points reversed, and you will keep your challenge. If your challenge is overturned, you will lose your challenge. You also each have 3 repeats during the course of the match. Known affectionately as the JTE rule, after Josh Tapia. You may use a JT rule to have the question repeated. This will restart the 15-second timer, so use it if you need a little more time to think, or you just want to stall for time. Let's go ahead then, and with the rules out of the way, we're going to get into round number 1. And as much as there are some competitors out there who are associated with a category, I think it's only fair that for our first round, for question number 1, Star Wars, you get asked by the greatest Star Wars competitor there's ever been. That's right, me, Andrew the Elk Kelk. Let's go ahead, gentlemen. Your question number 1, Star Wars. On which number of Yavin Moon is the Rebel base located in A New Hope?
So I have to wake up there. Not a fan of the new calendar they are trying to throw down our throats. I am going to still consider the Battle of Yavin. I'm sorry.
All right. Somebody who really loves his Star Wars. I don't know what any of that meant, but I'm sure there's some people out there agreeing with you, David. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens are down, and we will go to Ruben first.
Yavin 4.
Yavin 4 and Mike.
Yavin 4.
Both correct, both on the board with a point.
All right.
If my marker is too unbearable to bear, read, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. But it's time.
All right. So, gentlemen, your next question in the category of Marvel movies outside the MCU. In Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, what city do they travel to in an attempt to stop the Silver Surfer from making a new crater and fail? Now, Elk, do you think this is the second best Fantastic Four movie, or is Fantastic a little better than this?
In answer to the first part of your question, yes. And in answer to the second part of your question, no.
I mean, they are both garbage anyway.
5, 4, 3, garbage that could go in perhaps a new crater that they failed to stop. 2, and 1, pens down.
Okay, and we go to the Hypeman.
Is it London?
It is London. And Ruben?
London.
Okay.
Good old
London calling to this
England,
man.
indeed. I believe there's a set piece involving the London Eye.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, continuing in that merry world of Marvel, because we've got MCU for your next question. This one, I have a feeling I know how this will go. Let's see what happens, gentlemen. Which MCU movie features a character played by Donald Glover, also known as Childish Gambino? Are you a fan of Childish Gambino?
As a music, no. As Lando Calrissian, yes.
Oh, I love his music. You're completely out of your mind, David. Freaks and Geeks and Redbone are two of my favorites.
Yeah. I can see that. Why you like Bone, sorry.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kingslayer.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
And Mike.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Both correct, remaining perfect through 3 questions.
Yep. All right, your next question comes in the category we stay with comic books, and it's going to be DC, outside of the DCU. In Green Lantern, what is the name of the home planet of the Guardians and the headquarters of the Green Lantern Corps?
I'm sorry, broke up. You said the home planet of the Green Lanterns?
I will read you a technical review, no worries. Okay, in Green Lantern, what is the name of the home planet of the Guardians and the headquarters of the Green Lantern Corps?
Home planet of the Green Lantern.
Are you a fan of this movie?
Of this movie? No, not the movie itself. Of the character and the comics company from which he comes, I'm a big fan. Huge DC nerd during my comic days.
I haven't read a lot of DC, but I rewatched this movie for study purposes, and it's not the worst DC has put out, by far.
Well, that I find a little easier to believe, although it's got to be up there on the list.
No, it's not.
Somewhere in the bottom 5.
No.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Repeat the question.
We have a repeat.
We have a repeat. In Green Lantern, what is the name of the home planet of the Guardians and the headquarters of the Green Lantern Corps? Also, by the way, Elk, Swamp Thing 2, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, and I'm sure that, and still, there, top 5, bottom 5. But, I mean, I'm not even sure, but those 5 are definitely worse than the Green Lantern.
I'll agree on most of those. I think you threw one in there that doesn't belong.
Batman Forever, maybe?
You'll never find out from me. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down.
Right, and we go to Mike.
Planet Oa.
That is correct. Ruben, did you pull it?
Yep. Oh,
Cool.
Manages to make it with the repeat, and I gotta say, this planet, I as I mentioned, I'm a comic book nerd. I know this one, but this is the only planet where if you're from New York or Canada and you end up becoming the guardian for your space sector, you can always pronounce it properly. In New York, it's OA. In Canada, it's OA. Pretty easy.
Yeah, you know, and I thought I was the one with the weird accent anyway.
Oh no, we here in Canada got real weird accents if you could go the right places.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, a favorite category of the desk coming your way next in the Wizarding World. Question 5, which member of the Marauders is not an animagus?
Elk is redundant to
what can I ask you what name are you specific? Are you looking for the name on like the nickname, or are you looking for the real name?
the character name.
You're looking for the character's name. However, I think it's fair to say, given the wording of the question, were someone to put up the nickname of the character, we would probably accept that you know the answer.
Yeah.
We're unfair about Harry Potter questions only when Andrew Kelk is competing in a match.
All right.
Memories, right, David? Let's give the countdown in 5,
Good
4,
memories.
3,
For me.
2, 1. Pens down. We will go to Ruben.
All right, Mrs. Mooney, Remus Lupin.
Remus Lupin and Mike.
Professor Remus Lupin, aka Mooney the werewolf.
Okay.
Correct. Still perfect. Halfway through this round. It's the match we thought we would see.
Yep. Okay, guys. Next question comes in the category of mixed bag. In Back to the Future Part 3, to what year does Marty travel back? Hot take, this is my favorite Back to the Future movie.
I was just thinking about that and trying to figure out which was my favorite Back to the Future movie, and 3 was on the list, but if it's your favorite, then I definitely hate it more than the other 2.
Okay, cool. I mean, if I make you say that you like 2 over 3, that just makes you more stupid, so I will take it.
I think I still have to go with the original. Gentlemen, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, mostly for the Bangin' Huey Lewis soundtrack.
Okay, so we go to Mike.
1855.
That is incorrect. Ruben?
1955.
Okay, the answer I have here is 1885.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, damn, yeah.
We are, in
It is
fact,
right.
willing to accept the challenge. If either gentleman does not feel that that is correct, we will be happy to look it up. If not,
No,
that will be
it's-
the
I think that's probably right.
of the match.
It is right. I
It's
Or-
exactly
sorry.
100 years back of...
Yeah.
And the movie trivia face-off, as well as its obviously inspirational counterpart, the movie trivia showdown that we all know and love. It continues to be true that when a question has a number in it that corresponds to a year, it's real hard to get. First miss of the match for both competitors.
To quote the great philosophers Beavis and Butthead, I don't like numbers. There's too many of them.
Also, I have to say, I was not the one to jinx it. Elk was the one to open his mouth.
That's fine. I like it when people fall on their faces, David. Let's continue the match and see if they can get back on track or if the pattern will continue with more misses. Your next question is in the category of DCEU. Boxing legend Ann Wolfe plays a character named Artemis in which DCEU movie?
Huh.
Did not know the actress.
No. I don't like boxing, so... Or sports, like, in general.
Right. No real sports for you. So you're not a fan of hockey or curling, but you do still like soccer. I mean football. I mean soccer.
I actually play table tennis sometimes.
Yes, the famed David Garcia physical fitness.
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Ruben.
it's Wonder Woman.
And Mike.
Wonder Woman.
Back on track, 6-6. That is correct. Wonder Woman.
Yes. Okay, so your 8th question in the category of Star Trek. Of what shape is the Borg ship sent to Earth to prevent the first contact after the Borg cube is destroyed in Star Trek First Contact? This is a mouthy question.
Wait.
Yep.
Can you say that first part again? Just the first part?
Are you using a repeat?
Well, no, like I didn't hear that first part.
Hear it
I
again.
thought I heard.
Okay. So, in Star Trek, of what shape is the Borg ship sent to Earth to prevent the first contact after the Borg cube is destroyed in Star Trek First Contact?
Since we're talking about best and worst movies in a film series, and I don't want to give away this Star Trek one by accidentally talking about it, in that previous one, Wonder Woman, do you think that's the best DCEU movie?
I actually like Aquaman the most.
Fair enough. A lot of fun in that film. Shazam, a lot of people are fans of. It's so interesting that when they kind of keep themselves as separate as they can from the main universe, they seem to do better.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Wonder Woman was great, but it kind of falls apart in the third act. Yeah.
Fair enough, but no doubt DCU will go back to their toxic boyfriend, Zack Snyder, and their rebound guy, Joss Whedon, soon enough to try to fix things. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll see if they can find the shape of the Borg ship.
Okay, we go to Mike.
It was a sphere.
It is a sphere. Ruben?
I'm wrong. I said cube.
It was, in fact, the Borg sphere. So that's a miss for Ruben, but a hit for Mike, giving him the first lead of the match. And it does the work for me, folks. I'm loving it today. We got a couple more questions, chance for you to catch right back up at just 1 point so far. Let's see what we've got. Next up, gentlemen, your 9th question, or your Mark Ellis quote, penultimate question. In the category of Middle Earth, what is the name of Arwen's father in the Lord of the Rings trilogy? One would assume that he's also her father outside of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Like during the Hobbit movies, would he also still be her father?
No, probably not. I mean, I don't know how custody works in Middle Earth, but if she's adopted, I don't know.
All right, little people walking everywhere.
That joke fell apart completely.
Let's see if I can get on the board in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We will go to Ruben.
I'm gonna go with Elrond.
Elrond and Mike.
Elrond.
Elrond is correct, maintaining the 1 point lead for Mike as we get into the final question of the round.
Yes, so final question. In Heroes and Villains, in Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, who plays the villainous Commander Crew? I know you're a fan of Star Trek, Elk. What is your favorite Star Trek movie?
That is a very tough question. I think probably it is going to be Wrath of Khan. That is my favorite of the original series, right ahead of Star Trek IV. And then in Next Generation, it's a toss-up for me between Insurrection and First Contact. I like Insurrection more than most.
Oh, really? I actually like Insurrection as well.
And 5, 4. Well, we don't agree on anything, David, so you're going to have to change your opinion because I'm going to
I don't like Insurrection.
3, 2, and 1. Pens down.
Okay, and we go to Mike.
Christopher Lloyd.
That's correct. And Ruben?
Back to the Future's Christopher Lloyd.
Yep. Great, Scott! They got it!
Great, Scott, indeed. And a great round from both competitors. No perfect round, but when you come out of round 1 looking at a 9-8 competition, you know you've got 2 competitors who know their stuff. They're willing to fight. They're ready, and they're going for the blood, for their opponent's throat in the match. And only 1 point separates them, which can be huge as we come into our second round, because we've all said it so many times. David, when you spin that wheel and it lands on that category you just don't like, or the dreaded opponent's choice comes rolling around, that can spell doom, or you can spell opportunity when you get that category you want. This is where the match can turn in a moment.
Yeah, I was almost murdered by that opponent's choice in my last match. So, yeah, I know how it goes.
All right, and gentlemen, with that 1 point separating you, we are going to keep this match rolling. I want to keep the competition going, keep those blood rates high as we kick into round number 2. Your rules for round number 2 are as follows. In round 2, each competitor will be given a chance to spin the category wheel. On that wheel, we have the categories of DC Extended Universe, Marvel, Wizarding World, movie release dates, Middle Earth, movie quotes, Star Trek, DC, Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Star Wars, as well as, of course, opponents and spinner's choice. Once you spin the wheel, you will land on a category. You will have the chance to select that category. If you do not like the category you landed on, unless, of course, it lands on opponent's choice, you may respin once. This is your mulligan. Once you have your category, you will be asked 5 questions from that category. Each question will be worth 2 points. You do have the option for multiple choice in this round. If you opt for multiple choice, you will be given 4 choices of the answer to your question, and the value of the question will be reduced to 1 point. The reason the values of the question is important, and competitors, you want to keep yourself right in there the whole time, is because steals are live in round number 2. That means the moment you miss a question, don't answer in time, or get an incorrect answer, your opponent has the chance to steal at the question's current value. They may not opt for multiple choice if you did not before answering your question. With those rules out of the way, I will let both competitors know you each have your challenge and all 3 repeats remaining.
Ruben used 1 repeat.
Ruben did use 1 repeat. Thank you. Thank you. Ruben used 1 repeat. So 2 repeats for Ruben, all 3 for Mike. And Mike, you are in the lead. Would you like to spin the wheel first or defer to your opponent?
I'm going to let Ruben go first.
Okay, so Ruben, whenever you're ready, you tell us.
Spin that wheel.
Now, you've seen his matches, David. What do you think he's looking for on this wheel here?
I would say probably Middle Earth, Wizarding World, like, you know.
Well, he definitely got one of the categories. Now let's see if he's going to stick with it. Wizarding World. What do you say?
Yeah, I had to stick with it.
Definitely
Wait,
knows his Wizarding World, and we are going to get him his 5 questions.
Okay. It's me, right?
I believe it is you, David.
Yeah, because I know more than about Wizarding World than you. That's a great option. Okay, in Wizarding World, Ruben, your first question. What is the name of Rubius Hagrid's one-headed dog?
The one-headed dog?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Important
I don't know why I'm second guessing myself.
4, 3.
All right,
2.
I'm pretty sure it's Fang.
And you are correct for 2 points.
2 points on the board.
And that's like, even if you know that category, those kind of weird name questions, it makes second guess yourself.
Well, when you're competing in Harry Potter, sometimes it feels like you've taken all the memories out and left them sitting in the pensive at home, and sometimes they're all right there like magic.
All right, so second question. In Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, what is the minimum age for a student to be allowed to compete in the Tri-Wizard Tournament?
17.
Oh, David, I live in Ontario, so I know this one for sure. It's 19 here in Canada and 21 in the States.
Yeah, I think he answered. Sorry?
Yeah, it's 17.
That
Sorry.
is correct. I'm sorry about the rudeness of my partner, Ruben. I'm so sorry.
I'm not sorry,
Okay.
but you are welcome, of course.
I sit down and take a break while you guys do this.
But make sure we can see both of your hands on the screen, please.
Oh, man, damn it.
Just in case.
I'll swing from a pole like I'm dancing. All right, here we go.
All right, so third question. In what film does Harry first meet Cornelius Fudge, the Minister of Magic?
I am pretty sure. Let me make sure I'm not second guessing. I don't think he is. Yeah, it has to be Prisoner of Azkaban. Final answer.
And it has to be, yeah, it is correct. So 2 more points on the board for Ruben. Next question. In Prisoner of Azkaban, before Dumbledore's commencement speech, a choir of students is shown singing a song. Each of these students is holding what animal?
And to assist my cohort with his accent, that's a choir of students.
Oh,
All right. You're basically asking what type of animal they're holding, whether
Yep.
Performing their song in choir.
that is the question.
So I am terrified. I'm gonna say the wrong one.
5, 4, 3.
I'm gonna go with
2.
Toad. Final answer.
Toad is correct.
Okay.
Also, for your information,
I didn't know if they're.
we will have also accepted frog. So,
Okay. All right. That's what I was scared of. I was literally jumping back and forth between Frog and Toad. I'm like, oh no. Like,
You tell me the difference.
all right, and your final question, because you are doing perfect in this round. Which Horcrux object is destroyed by Hermione Granger? And we are going to need specificity. for this object.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Be as
So what
specific
Horcrux
as
is
you can.
destroyed by Hermione?
Be as specific as you can.
And I gave him a couple extra seconds on this one. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
All right. That's your second repeat. Which Horcrux object is destroyed by Hermione Granger?
David, I mean, even as a fan of Harry Potter, I got to say, I think it is a tough question. You got to think of all the Horcruxes, when they were destroyed, which film, who was doing it, because it does get spread out.
Yeah, there are a lot of people destroying Horcrux across the films.
Why am I second?
And 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Final.
Whoa, Ruben going
used.
all in with his last repeat. Okay, Ruben, which Horcrux object is destroyed by Hermione Granger?
Okay, so I am going to go with.
5,
I hope I'm not
4,
mistaken. I'm going to go with
3, 2.
Helga Hufflepuff's goblet.
Hufflepuff's goblet
It's a cup.
is. David, I'm going to go ahead and say that I know how it's written on the sheet. I think that is, in my mind, a correct answer.
Correct, yeah, it's correct. Yeah.
We're going to go with correct answer. Hufflepuff's cup. Hufflepuff's cup. That is a correct answer. And that also is a perfect round number 2. The wheel is kind to the Kingslayer. He puts up 10 points, putting him at a total of 18 and 9 points ahead of his challenger, the Hypeman. Hypeman now looking to get on that board with his own good wheel spin. He's looking to hit his strength or something real darn close to it. Hypeman, whenever you are ready.
Spin it.
And round it goes. A spin is in, as our dear Knapsack would say.
And we have
Keep it.
We have landed on movie quotes, and he instantly says, keep it. He wants to stay in this category. Surprising, David. Not everybody likes movie quotes, but
He put movie quotes on the wheel. That's a bold move. I mean, not a lot of people do wood, but I mean, let's see.
well, let's find out. And for me, the challenge will now be 5 questions in which I don't get to do any of the impressions that I want to do. All right, Mike, your first question in this round of 5. In Star Wars, which character said, pushed her, the fall killed her?
So, a lot of people thrown off things in Star Wars and apparently means nothing at all.
No, there was a big stack of mattresses at the bottom of that tube in the Death Star.
Yeah.
5, 4.
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options. In Star Wars, who said pushed her, the fall killed her? A, Lando Calrissian. B, Jango Fett. C, Tobias Beckett. D, Orson Krennic. Got an interesting bunch of characters there. One might say Rogish might be the best common denominator between them.
C.
C, Tobias Beckett is correct for a point. Using multiple choice well, navigating and keeping himself into the game.
The beloved Clone Wars bounty hunter, Racine.
And that multiple choice might be what you need sometimes. Always good to get the point to prevent that steal from your opponent. Your next question, Hype Man. Finish this quote from a Harry Potter film. That suggests that what you fear most of all is blank.
Finish the quote.
Yes.
What you fear most is fear.
Fear is correct. A little twist on a famous political speech from the Americas. All right.
Can I challenge that, actually? It's fear itself.
Challenge.
The full quote, and it's a movie quote, so it has to be. The full quote is fear itself.
All right, we have a challenge, folks. We are going to get to it right away. Taking a look at your challenge, we'll be right back. All right, Face Off Fanatics, we are back, and the challenge put down by the Kingslayer looks like a good challenge today. Now, the full quote in the film, spoken on the bridge by Remus Lupin to Harry Potter, is, "That suggests what you fear most of all is fear itself. That's wise." Now, the challenge was that the quote was fear itself, which would have been correct. However, if we are going to be specific about the full quote, then fear itself, that's wise, is in fact the correct answer. With that review, what we're going to do is we're going to toss this question out. We're going to go to our backup question, and we're going to give that to Mike the Hype Man Shea. So you still have a chance to get those points. Ruben, obviously, still a chance to steal, and you do maintain your challenge. Your new second question, Mike, in the category of movie quotes. In Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, after being saved in the rain by Spider-Man, Mary Jane says, "You have a knack for saving my life. I think I have a what?"
I think I have a superhero stalker.
And that Stanley alliteration is absolutely correct. Superhero stalker, 2 points. Obviously, he knows this category because I got to tell you, David, if I watched that movie yesterday, I probably couldn't have answered this question.
Oh.
All right. So good challenge, but managed to take the points anyway. Challenge still alive. Let's keep it going for you. Question number 3 in this category. Mike, which Lord of the Rings hero greets Haldir by saying, "You are most welcome"?
Oh, God. It's from The Hobbit, isn't it? I hate those movies.
Which hero? Now, David, I'm guessing you know this one?
I could have gotten this, yes, because mostly I watched this movie 2 days ago, but I mean, I probably could have known this as well. This is one of the categories I love.
And he put it on the wheel. This is one of those reasons movie quotes is tough, because you really got to dig down and figure out where it's coming from. In 5.
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. I can do that for you. Your multiple choice options are A, Frodo, B, Legolas, C, Gimli, D, Aragorn.
So now that we have the multiple choice, I can say Mike was kind of wrong about assuming.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I think he might have been wrong when he said that this is a Hobbit question.
So now we are not giving anything away.
I mean, to be fair, he might not be. I know at least one of those characters shows up in the Hobbit.
Frodo.
Frodo
is incorrect. And for the steal, your options again, Ruben: A, Frodo, B, Legolas, C, Gimli, D, Aragorn.
I know where it's at. It's probably in Helm's Deep. I just don't remember specifically which one it is.
is a strength of Ruben, so let's see if we can capitalize. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with Aragorn.
Aragorn of Arathorn is correct for the steal.
Man.
1 more point for Ruben. That's a big steal in this situation, David. As long as he could have stayed strong, he could have got real close. He maybe even tied in this round, but now he's just going to keep it as close as he can as we move on to question number 4 for the Hype Man. When being offered a promotion, which Star Trek character responds with, "Tell me something I don't know"?
Huh.
Those promotions in Starfleet, as a Star Trek fan, I got to say, it seems like once you get just up to commander or captain, all you do is turn down promotions all day. Riker did it. Kirk did it.
Like, if you are just in the right place at the right time, you get promoted.
Repeat the question.
That is 1 repeat for the Hype Man. Your question is, when being offered a promotion, which Star Trek character responds with, "Tell me something I didn't know"? Really not a lot of upward mobility in Starfleet, it seems like. And once you hit that admiral level, then you're just sitting in an office all day.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a fan of that.
Or making an evil plan to overthrow the Federation. I know that one happens.
McCoy.
5.
Dr.
You said?
McCoy.
Yep.
Yes, that is correct. Gets the 2 points. Good use of the repeat.
So in this case, it's not being at the right place at the right time. It's that the other person just died.
And keeping it very, very close indeed. We've got one more question, 2 more potential points on the board. Could close the gap to 3 points with this. And your final question, Mike. When they are trying to cure Whistler in Blade 2, Stud says to Blade, no one goes blank in one night.
Multiple choice. I hate this movie.
All right. Your options, unfortunately, will not include anything about skating uphill. Instead, your options are A, clean, B, cold turkey, C, bonkers, D, dancing.
Cold turkey?
Cold turkey is correct for a point. That brings him to 14 points to Ruben's 19. There was that one big steal that happened. That's a big swing. Takes a couple points away, keeps him from getting them. But the match is not over. We've seen it before. And that 4 points, that's that magic zone. It's once you get above 5, once you get to that 6, that you really, really start to worry. But all he needs to do is have his opponent miss his 5-pointer and do well and do the same level that he does on the rest. And he gets that 5. This is still his potential game. Anybody can win this.
Also, we have
Very exciting.
Ruben miss his 3 and his 5 when he was forced to answer them. So anything happen in this one.
In the end,
David.
all we know for sure is that it all gets decided in round number 3. Gentlemen, let's go ahead and give you the rules for round number 3. All right, round number 3 will work as follows. Each competitor will give us 3 numbers ranging from 1 to 13. These numbers will correspond to a Geektacular movie trivia category. Corresponding to those numbers in the order you chose them, you will get a 2-point, then a 3-point, and then a 5-point question. This question will be answered by you. There is no multiple choice. You still have your repeats and challenges in effect. That means that, Mike, you have 2 repeats. Ruben, you have none remaining. Both players still holding their challenges. And Ruben, Kingslayer, Cologne, you are in the lead going into round 3. So please give us your 3 numbers.
I'm going to do... We're going to do 8, 2, and 11.
8, 2, and 11. And from 1 to 13, Hypeman.
I'm going to do 1, 4, and 12.
1, 4, and 12. I have the numbers down. I will be asking round 3 questions to the Hype Man. Should it be required, Ruben, your questions will be asked by David Garcia. Your question for 2 points in the category of Star Trek. Mike, the Hype Man Shea. Who plays Spock in Star Trek 09? That's the JJ Abrams. Zachary Quinto for 2 points is correct, bringing him to 17 and within 2 points of his opponent, which means we'll get to question number 2. You get this one correct, you can throw it to your opponent and make him answer some questions. Your category is going to be Star Wars. Star Wars for your 3-point question. And your question is, in the Clone Wars movie, what is the name of the planet where the opening takes place? The opening battle. Excuse me, the opening battle takes place. In the Clone Wars, what's the name of the planet where the opening battle takes place?
I have no idea. I don't know. Corellia.
Corellia, incorrect. We were looking for Christophsis. Christophsis.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that one indeed, which means it can come down to this. This is a potential match closer right here. Your 5-point question, category number 12, heroes and villains. Remember, you have 2 repeats remaining. If you get this correct, we will throw it back to Ruben. If you miss it, Ruben will win by technical knockout. Heroes and villains, 5 points coming your way. Big question. Take your time, and we will see if you can get this one correct. And it looks like I have the category up here. Your 5-point question, heroes and villains. And he liked movie quotes. Perhaps he'll like this. Your question, Hypeman, which comic book hero says, "Hey, you on the other side, let her go because for her I'll cross over and you'll be sorry"?
Repeat the question.
All right, repeat the question. That is one of your two remaining. Your question is, which comic book hero says, "Hey, you on the other side, let her go because for her I'll cross over and you'll be sorry"?
Hellboy.
And a big 5 points on the board. He hits it. He avoids the technical knockout, and he brings himself up to a total of 22 points, which means we're going to have at least 2 questions being answered by the Kingslayer. Kingslayer going to have to earn his victory, and I'll turn it over to you, David.
Yep.
Let's bring it home.
Okay, so you asked for category number 8, and that here corresponds to movie quotes. Movie quotes. In Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Sam famously slowly says the name of which vegetable to Gollum?
Potatoes.
Yep, potatoes will be correct for 2 points.
All right, it's a 1-point game, which means we got 2 questions remaining. Either one a potential winner, but it's the 3, it's the 5. They can be very difficult.
You asked for category number 2, and that corresponds here to weapons, technology, and magical objects for your 3-pointer. Here. Okay, and he will probably be happy about this question for 3 points. What is the name of Aragorn's sword after it's reforged?
I know both names. I'm trying to remember. After it's reformed.
All comes to this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Naruto. Is that right?
Narsil is incorrect.
Incorrect. Looking for Anduril. And I will give you a slight warning with no repeats remaining. You got to stay on those questions. If we get that close again, I might have to call it against you.
I knew it was one of them, and I could not.
I was Marcel too. I remember the other one.
Which means, David,
Yep.
we thought we'd have a good match. We thought it would come down to the wire, and it has the 5-point question coming his way. Mike had to answer his 5-point question in order to avoid getting technically knocked out. And now, with that miss, the only way the match can go down in the Kingslayer's favor is for him to hit his 5-pointer. It's make or break, 1 repeat remaining.
Yes, indeed. So, your category, you selected number 11, and that is MCU.
MCU movies.
Ruben for 5 points and the win, and potentially being higher ranked. So, in the movie The Avengers, who is the first eventual member of the team we see on screen after the title card is shown?
Wait, say that last part again.
I'm going to give you a technical repeat. In The Avengers, who is the first eventual member of the team we see on screen after the title card is shown?
Asking you to specifically remember the title card in the movie and what scene follows. This is a tough question, David. Pretty deep cut. You got to run it through your head and say.
So the first character to join the team after the main ones are already part of the team. Is that
We're going to go ahead and repeat that for you. We're going to charge a repeat, I think, if that's okay with you.
Repeats. I am going to. He doesn't have any repeats.
And we'll be very clear on this one.
Okay. So, which potential member of the team is the first one to be shown on screen after the title card is shown?
So which person who will join
Title
the
character.
Avengers is shown on screen after the title card first?
Oh, the title card. Okay, I thought you were saying title character.
Title card. So once that shows up on screen, the first character who will become a member of the Avengers or is a member of the Avengers to be shown on screen. And we're going to start the count. And 5, 4, 3, 2.
Complete guess. I'm gonna go Hawkeye.
And your winner, Mike, the Hype Man, Shea. We were looking for Black Widow. Black Widow being targeted by the Russians.
Wow.
That is a deep cut question. That is a tough miss. And that is a big win for Mike, the Hype Man, Shea. Ruben fought lights out throughout this match, barely missing. But in the end, all it took was that one question. Black Widow, first character on screen after the Avengers splash title card. Wow. I cannot believe how close this was, David.
This was an incredible match. Both 5-pointers. Mike kept fighting. Just kept fighting. He answered the questions he had to answer. He never threw the match for lost. And it paid out. Ruben missing his 3 and missing his 5 once again. The power of the shirt. Don't jinx it. I did jinx it. And, I'm proud of it. Because he keeps calling me out. I'm sorry, you are going to have to win a little more. So, and that's the result. Mike fought incredibly with a tough category in round 2, tough questions in round 3, using his repeats, his multiple choices, and he made it in the end.
And that's sometimes what it takes. Sometimes in this game, you can be falling behind purely based on knowledge. And sometimes it comes down to using that repeat correctly, using that challenge correctly. Well-played match by both over 20 points scored. And like I said, this is just competition at the highest level. They went blow for blow, went all the way. And in the end, those 5-pointers, they really can ruin you. Only a 1-point margin, the barest victory. But in the end, it goes to Mike Shea over Ruben Colon. And I got to say, so far, best match of the year for me. This one is a killer, and it's going to take a lot to top that with our next competitors when we bring them around.
Yep.
But with that being said, of course, we have to take you to the hardest working man in Face-Off himself for our post-match interviews with your competitors. Here is, he's so wonderful. He's so amazing. Andrew, the Elk Kelk. What's up, Face-Off fanatics? Welcome back to the Elks Lodge. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. What a looker, that Andrew Kelk on the desk. And I am here with your competitors for the match today. Coming up first, hard fought, absolutely amazing competitor, deserves his high ranking in the GEEKTACULAR division, but loses by a single point today, unfortunately. What are you thinking right now? What are you feeling, Ruben Colon?
Yeah, so obviously I made mistakes. It happens. People make mistakes in these matches. But first thing is just looking back what I did wrong. And I know I meant deserve this win. Like, I blew it multiple times. Like, I knew my 3-pointer, like I was between 2 different answers on my 3-pointer, between 2 different answers on the 5-pointer, and I blew both of those. So that's on me, especially a Middle Earth question that I missed. But ultimately, it could go either way. Like, if our questions were in reverse, I would have known all his questions. So it's just the luck of these things. That's one of the biggest things in this, with this type of matches, is that sometimes it just comes down to luck, and it was in Hypeman's favor. And it sucks that I'm 2-2 now. I wanted to be the #1 competitor. That's why I challenged a top 5 competitor. But yeah, luck just wasn't on my side today.
Well, luck maybe not on your side, but you had a great competitor going against you. He did play very well. You still played pretty darn amazingly as well. Coming in, you got 8 points in that first round. Nothing to sneeze at all. just a couple of misses coming your way. And I know you're kicking yourself, but each and every one with a 1-point gap at the end of the match. But all right, round 2, very impressive. You know, what do you say about that? You did do pretty dominating in round number 2. Lots of points up there on the board and managing to take yourself into a very, very solid lead in round number 3. And I mentioned it before round number 3 got started. That 4-point gap, it's a magic number because all you got to miss is the 5-pointer and it changes the entire game. These late questions, they are very deep, they are very difficult, and they can change a lot. 2.5 times the points you can get at any other time during the match. That is what it came down to for you. Had you hit that question, had you managed to pull it out, you would have been a 4-point victory right in the mid-20s and looking very solid, probably right on top of those Geektacular leaderboards. I don't think this is the end for you. I think you're coming back. And I think anybody who steps in the ring with you and sees your 2-2 record and says he's an easy beat, they're crazy. You know what you're doing. You've got the knowledge. You're going to come back, right?
Of course. You know, I'm the Kingslayer. I'm going to still challenge the best. If you look at the people I face, I always face top competitors. I think you look at Mark Meyer, Thomas Scully, and now Mike Shea, who's #1 ranked. I'm not the type of person that tries to get easy wins. I'm not the type of person that challenges the easier players. I go for the bigger players. And that's why my matches are always like this, where they're usually always close. And it's because I like a challenge. I like to prove myself, and I like to prove that I am the Kingslayer and I take people off their thrones, and that's what I'm meant to do. And I will keep doing that. Maybe with my 2-2 record, that stops me from challenging some of the top 5 players for a little while. But I will work my way back up there. I will be up there again. I will probably have that title at the end of World War Geek. And yeah, the League of Shadows is still out there, and we're still dominating the fandom geek area right now. So we'll just continue to move our way up there.
Very solid, very confident. A man who knows that on any given day, the match can go any given way. But today, it was right down to the wire. It was by a hair, and he very easily could have won this match. So close. And World War Geek, folks, there's a lot of people fighting in that World War Geek. I think Ruben is one of the top competitors to possibly take that out. I don't think we're going to see him stop facing off against winners, because if winners is what you want, that's what we're going to give to you, and you can show your mettle against the very best the league has to offer. He is one of the best. He is absolutely amazing, but unfortunately, he could not take the victory today. That is my man, the Kingslayer, Ruben Cologne, and we'll be right back with the victor in today's match, Mike the Hype Man Shea. And we are back here in the Elks Lodge, as always, folks, with your winner today in an impressive match. Great strategy, great knowledge, and absolutely fought until the very end. That's why you don't give up, folks. He is Mike, the Hype Man Shea. Congratulations.
Oh, man. Oh, I am literally sweating. Wow. Oh, feels good. Oh, this feels good. Oh, man.
So round number 1, you got to be feeling good coming out with the lead, nearly a perfect round, obviously showing your knowledge, but Ruben keeping it close, staying right behind you. Round number 2, you do have that tough category. You stick with it. Got to give you some credit for that, but I'm not 100% sure if movie quotes should be anybody's strength the way it often plays out. You do give up that steal. You can't quite make all the points you need, and you end up 4 points behind in round 2 after coming into round 2 with the lead. That's a 5-point drop. At that point, were you feeling discouraged?
Oh, I mean, the Hype Man is all about energy and fun, but he is not egotistical. I was so sure I was done. I was so sure I was done. But I knew at the end of the day, what I had to do was just do the best I can. Even if I was going to lose, I was going to lose. I was going to go down swinging. And yeah, I was feeling it. I definitely was feeling it.
All right, then round number 3 comes along. Not often you get to say this, Mike. Congratulations to you. You came into the round in danger of TKO, and you left the round with the victory. You managed to answer those big questions, put up those big points, and a couple of tough questions for your opponent. Now, I think on any other day, I'm not going to be mean to your opponent. I think any other day he would have picked up a 3, picked up a 5, could have won this match. But today, it was your day. He didn't quite have it. And with that tough 5-pointer for him, first person after a title card in a film, not going easy, you do manage to take the victory. And that's what you got to do. Stay alive, fight till the end, get the points that you need, and then hope to God your opponent can't quite get there.
It was Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I cheated death today. This was Final Destination. I'd get a billboard landing on me as soon as I walked out of the door. I had no business making it to the end of this match the way I did. The three letters you never want to hear in a match are TKO. I can live with being knocked out. That means the other guy just came in swinging harder than me. TKO means that somewhere along the line I couldn't hack it, and so I was real nervous about getting that TKO on my record. But so even just to keep myself alive long enough to force him to go into doing all three of his questions was crazy. And I mean, look, Kingslayer knows his stuff. I'll never take that away from him. The guy got two really tough questions. I wouldn't have been able to answer that 5-pointer. So yeah, all the respect in the world to Ruben. But at the end of the day, today was my day. Once again, just proving how much the hype is indeed still very much real. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. You've been absolutely delightful.
I love it when the competitors do my job for me, and there's none better than him in selling the hype. His own hype. He is the hype man, Mike Shea, with the victory today. And does he deserve to be here? I argue after a plus 20-point match, he absolutely deserves to be here. But does he deserve to be here with me, the most exciting man, the hardest working man in Face-Off? Maybe not.
Hey,
That's
man.
something I do for you folks.
You're the man. You're the elk.
And
You're
let's
the
do
elk.
it some more for you. Let's take you back to the desk with the man himself, Andrew the Elk Elk, and David the Spaniard Garcia. Take it away, gentlemen. All right. Fantastic post-match interviews, as always, by the hardest working man in Face-Off. Someone needs to give him a raise. He needs to keep himself in those fine clothes after all. And we are back after, David, I got to say, never a pleasure sitting here next to you, but it was a pleasure to watch this match. We've had some amazing matches so far. Season 2 is underway, and you could not ask for more amazing competitors than we have here in the movie Trivia Face-Off. Plus, we've got those great events coming up. We've got some hair on the line, some competitors facing off for a real good cause. We've got World War Geek coming up. I know you're looking forward to that one. I know everybody's looking forward to that one. Ruben is going to be a contender. We talked about Thomas Scully in this match. He's going to be a contender. Mike Shea, obviously, going to be highly ranked. He's a contender in this. I don't know who's going to come out of it, but we're going to have a Geek champion, and it's going to be an amazing event.
Indeed. I mean, this match was, I think, everything we wanted it to be. It came down to both 5-pointers, tough pulls, Hypeman getting movie quotes on his choosing, stumbling a little, Ruben getting Wizarding World, crushing it, and he still lost. So that shows what level of competition we are dealing with in the Face-Off right now, in the GEEKTACULAR League. The GEEKTACULAR League is stacked. We have the top, I mean, I am going to say the top 7, top 8 competitors who anyone can beat anyone at any point. Like, this is going to be an incredible way to go to World War Geek. Also, I have to say, I'm a little delighted to see Ruben stumble, because he came in swinging at me and say to look closely and take lessons. I'm sorry. If I am playing, I will try and hit my 3 and my 5, something you have never done. So if you want to be a champion, take a lesson from me. You have to start studying on those deep cuts, my friend.
That's right. Season 2 of the movie Trivia Face-Off well underway with amazing competitors. We do have a stacked division here in GEEKTACULAR, and all the questions that can be answered will be answered for you this season, folks. Who is going to come out on top of World War Geek? Who is going to be the next big competitor we don't see coming? As mentioned by my co-host, we've got 6 or 7 of the best players in the world in GEEKTACULAR, as well as David Garcia, a man who will eventually answer the question of, why are you ducking the elk? When are you going to face off against him? You put the challenge out there, and yet I still can't get a match against you. Come on, David. When is this going to happen?
We are going to do it next week. We are going to tape it next weekend, and I am going to let you choose anything. Singles? Do you want to face me in singles?
Next weekend. That's a week from now.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a date that night, but we'll work something out later, David. And you got to stop ducking me, man. Like I will face you anytime. You got to stop it. You got to stay in it and be ready to face a competitor the caliber of the elk if you want to really be someone in this league. Folks, don't forget, while you're here enjoying the show with us in the movie Trivia Face-Off, thank all those people going by on the bottom of your screen. We've got a lot of hardworking people here in the movie Trivia Face-Off. Obviously, you know who number 1 is, but everybody busting their butts for you. We've got our question writers, we've got our match recorders, we've got our editors. Still always looking for some help. Fans, if you're out there and you want to help us keep our singles division alive right now, looking for some question writers and some editors to help us out with that division and make sure we can get more matches out to you, more great content from everyone here at the Movie Trivia Face-Off. Give them a thank you. Give them a what's up on social media. And we'll be back soon. We will see you next time we face off.